First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Dibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we are every weekday, starting around 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon and covering a wide range of topics here on this show. One thing we're going to be discussing today, though, covers a couple of topics. One, starting up a new app in tech startups and doing business in Portland, but also dealing with train crossings. And I will say, just from personal experience in Southeast Portland, right before I found out about this app, I got stuck at a train crossing from a freight train. I barely missed crossing it, and then I was stuck there for about a half hour. It would have been nice to know if that was going to be coming, if that was a possibility, or how long that could be. And some of those things are questions that could be answered with a new app called TrainSnap. And we're talking to the creator of TrainSnap right now. We've got MD Patel joining us. And MD, thank you very much, for having some time to join us here today. And I think to start off, can you tell everybody what is TrainSnap?
Yeah, hey Greg, thanks for having me. So TrainSnap is that piece of missing information that the commuters in Portland have yearned for long. Every time you get stuck, the one question you want to answer to is, if I knew. And that's what TrainSnap aims to solve. It sends you that notification once the gate closes, sends you the notification in a timely manner, and people know what to do. So they know the problem, they know the answer. It's that missing piece of information that the app provides. That's TrainSnap in a nutshell.
Yeah, and that's just the example of myself getting stuck there. I had no idea how long, what's going on with this. And so so when we're talking about trains, just to, again, further clarify, are we talking about both MAX and commuter trains and also freight trains themselves?
So it's location dependent. So I have 3 locations where you only would have the freight train and the passenger trains. And then the division location has all 3 of them. So it depends on the location. I'm not going after a single one of them in particular, but if they cross through that location, then we cover them.
Gotcha. Okay, so and how is it that you source the information, say, when it comes to, freight trains and passenger trains like Amtrak and things like that, to get that idea of how long they'll be there?
So that actually, I would say, was the biggest hurdle. So unlike TriMet, there's no server or online information that you can tap into. So I'm actually proud to say that this is something I invented. I ended up getting a patent on it. It's my device that captures this information, and then it passes on to the backend and backend to the app.
Nice, and it ends up there on this app for people to use. So let's talk about maybe an example of it, and I've got just a couple of images here that I'll put up just while we're talking about this. But how would you utilize something like this, or how do you utilize the app? Say you're traveling home and you want to know if there's going to be a train at a train crossing.
Yeah, so the app allows you to mark the crossings that you most frequently use as your favorites. And then you can also customize the notifications because you would want to go with the times that align with your commute. And the app will figure out if the crossing goes down, it'll send you a notification. If it takes in more than 3 minutes, then it tries to tell you that it's most likely a freight train. And it's that, again, seeing that piece of information and deciding for yourself whether you want to take that route or you want to go with an alternate route. And once the crossing goes down, it also keeps the timer. It collects the time that it has been closed for, and it shows it on the screen. So it gives you an idea whether it's been closed for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour, or just 10 minutes.
Nice. So you get that idea, you get to know that, and this is something you can have. And as we're showing there in the app, it can just overlay that. You get a notification, and looking at all those things. What do you think is one of the? There's a lot of questions out because this does seem like it's a very valuable thing, especially in all of these areas where there are train crossings. What's one of the biggest hurdles that you had in making this app work?
So one hurdle that I just mentioned is that the source of data. And the second one is that this is not my domain: app development, coding, backend integration, database management. All those things are foreign to me. My background is in healthcare, and I'm an engineer, but it's all in healthcare. So it was a big learning curve. I started this process back in 2018. The first few years was just about learning, getting myself up to speed. And then I knew I would have to hire people. But then when you hire smart people, you have to keep them engaged. You have to talk to them. And you need to have valuable information for them to remain engaged and come up with something that is useful for everybody. So I would say that was the second biggest step for me in this whole process.
Well, with a medical background, what inspired you to want to create an app that tracks train crossings?
So interesting story here, actually. So I had moved to downtown Portland back in 2018. And one day I was waiting for the bus to go to work, and I hear this train horn in the background. And I had no familiarity with the problem whatsoever back then. So I didn't even register it. But the person next to me, she went on to this rage for straight 2 minutes. And I could not understand it. I was amused by it. So you could say that was my introduction. And as I started studying more about the issue, it just became clear that people have been struggling and losing valuable time at this location. And using my entrepreneurial itch, if you will, I just kept at it. I said, I'm going to solve this one way or the other. This gets out there in people's hands.
Yeah, I mean, so it really is, something that can help out a lot of people. As you mentioned, the rage side of things. I mean, I didn't get quite that mad when I was stuck, but it can get really frustrating, especially if you're really hurrying to get somewhere. So since you've created, let's talk about how this works. For the public, is this out there for people to download right now? How is it that they can actually utilize and engage with TrainSnap?
So it is available on the App Store. Unfortunately, I only have the iOS version right now. I do have plans to launch the Android version. It gives you 1 week of free trial, then it's $3.99 a month. I've kept the price very reasonable. And it's available right now. It's live. You can go out and download it.
Well, talking about from an app standpoint and just a tech startup, and especially I think this is interesting with you having a medical background, but now jumping into this entrepreneurial side of things, what are some of the biggest things that you've learned about launching this app in general, but also here in Portland as well, as you've gone through this process?
So the journey has been solo for the most part. I had kind of tried forcing all the issues that I was going to encounter, and I would just try to prepare for it. A lot of failures, that goes without saying. And then I would just use every opportunity to just make myself better and come up with a better idea, what the background should look like or the back end, and make it all scalable, viable to use, quick and accurate detection. So I would focus on those core functionalities, and that was my journey. And then as a founder, I knew I can push it. I can get it out there all on my own. So the next partner that I'm looking for in this whole journey are just the commuters. I would like them to come join me and fuel this organic, people-driven growth. And I haven't really mingled with the entrepreneurs network and other founders community.
And is this something where, I don't know if this is the functionality on the app or not, where people can also send in their information and be like, hey, this is taking this long here, like that, or is it really just all your, what you've created as far as that way that you're able to get the information as far as how long the trains are going to be there?
Yeah, so I'm not taking any feedback from any other source than besides what I have developed and deployed. And that's where majority of the time went into in developing and making sure that what I'm capturing is reliable and quick. If users have feedback, they can go online and let me know using the contact form. But as far as the app is concerned, it's more of a one-way communication.
Nice. Okay. So so it's not utilizing any of their data then when they're logging on. Okay. Yeah.
It's all me end to end. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Well, what comes, I guess, to give it, for anybody out there who hasn't downloaded this yet or who's learning about this right now, what would you say to people out there to encourage them to download this app and utilize this as they're traveling here in Portland?
This is something that they've been waiting for. This is something that you go online and this is something that they've been ranting about. So it's out there. Just go ahead and download it. Like I said, I pushed it as far as I can, but I do need your support. So let's just come together and the last thing I would like to add here is that it's not a Portland issue. So we get the ball rolling here. It's a national issue. So one city after the next, and the sky is the limit. So that's my call to action for people.
Yeah, I would think so. This is obviously a problem for a lot of places. So do you already have plans on opening in other places, or do you want to wait and see how it does here in Portland and then take that to other locations?
Yeah, I'm on a hold pattern right now. I'm going to see how people react to it, the adoption. I know there's application for it, there's use for it, but I really have to see that people are actually interested in paying for it and using it, and then think about the next step. But like I said, the potential and the upside is huge.
Oh, yeah, huge. I mean, that's limitless. Every city on earth could probably have something like that. So, well, MD, thank you very much, for joining us here to talk about this and just to share this work that you're doing. And, like I said at the beginning, I saw your announcement about this, or at least the press release that we received right after I was stuck in traffic waiting for a train. So I'm like, this is something I want to learn more about. So it's good to get the word out there about that. And for everybody out there, just to reiterate for them, so it's in the iOS store, future in the Android store. What do they look up just to download this?
TrainSnap.
Just TrainSnap. So type in TrainSnap, you can download it and try it out.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, MD, thank you very much for joining us here today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And we're going to continue on here. I am learning a new system with my phone here, with my system here, my broadcast software. So just letting everybody know that. But we are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and thanks for joining us. We have lots for you to watch on the Fox 12 Oregon app. So while you're grabbing TrainSnap, grab the Fox 12 Oregon app if you don't already have that, and take a look at all of our different episodes and segments. We get to have these longer form conversations and really go in depth a little bit more with a lot of this. And so we appreciate people like MD joining us to find out about that. And like I said, more coming up at 2 p.m. We'll be back live talking about the iHeartRadio Music Awards. We've got Rain from Z100 Portland who's going to be joining us to talk about that. And if there's ever breaking news between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., this is also the place to go. But I will talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.